For years, the Harvard University was considered the world's most productive research university. In fact, American universities held prestige and attracted students from around the world. Well, that era may now be ending. Because according to the latest Leiden Rankings, which measure academic output based on research papers and citations, Harvard has fallen to number 3 in world rankings. And the universities which are moving up the fastest in the list are not other American universities. They are Chinese universities. Go back 2 decades. In the early 2000s, 7 American universities were in the global top 10 for research output. Only 1 Chinese university made to the top 25. Today, 7 Chinese universities are in the global 10, and the number 1 spot now belongs to Zhejiang University in China. In multiple global lists, including the Nature Index and university rankings by academic performance, Chinese institutions now dominate the top slots. In fact, in some alternative rankings, 12 out of the top 13 universities are Chinese. In America, Harvard University, for example, despite producing more research than ever, has still slipped in its rankings, not because it is doing less, but because others are doing much more. In China's case, it is investment. Over the past 2 decades, China has poured billions of dollars into universities, labs, and research programs. The Chinese government has made science and technology a core national priority, from quantum computing to space science and advanced manufacturing. Chinese researchers are also publishing more in English language journals, making their work more visible and accessible and more cited globally. While China is investing in education, American universities are facing new pressures. Remember, the Trump administration had slashed federal research funding, cutting billions of dollars in science grants. And on top of that, travel bans and anti-immigration policies. They've also hit hard. In August last year, the number of international students arriving in the US reportedly fell by nearly 20%. And that matters because international students are a key part of America's research engine. Education experts warn that this is not just an academic issue. Research universities power innovation. They drive breakthroughs in medicine, in energy, in defense, and in technology. When universities fall behind, countries lose their competitive edge. It's a tale as old as time. The Chinese leadership knows this, and it is working towards it. In fact, President Xi Jinping has openly said that global power today depends on scientific dominance. To be sure, yes, the United States still has some of the world's best universities. Harvard remains number 1 in highly cited papers, and American schools continue to lead in medical and biological sciences. But this gap is narrowing. The warning signs may not show up immediately because research takes years to turn into actual results. But experts say that today's funding decisions will shape tomorrow's rankings and shape who dominates the world in these key sectors. And for the first time in decades, America is being challenged at the very top.
Our next story is about a reset which is in the works. For years, American universities led the world in research, but now that leaderboard is changing. Apparently, Chinese universities are moving up in global rankings, and some of America's biggest names are slipping down the list. This is not about who teaches better or who has a better campus life. It's about who publishes more research and whose work gets more referenced around the world. So what is fueling the shift? And what does it mean for America's long-held edge over others? Here's a report.
Where does the world's most influential research happen? For several years, the answer was clear: the American universities. Harvard, Stanford, or MIT. They didn't just lead global rankings, they defined them. They shaped what counted as breakthrough research and attracted the brightest minds. The latest rankings reveal something striking. That dominance is being rewritten, and the challenge is coming from China. In the latest Leiden Rankings, a Chinese university now sits at number 1. Zhejiang University has taken the top spot. Harvard has slipped to the 3rd spot. And this is not a small reshuffle. 8 Chinese universities are currently in the global top 10 on that list. In the early 2000s, 7 American universities typically held those top spots. Back then, only 1 Chinese institution even made it to the top 25. But now, things are changing. So what is driving the change? It starts with what these rankings actually measure. The Leiden Rankings focus narrowly on the research output. They count academic papers and how often those papers are cited. These rankings do not assess teaching quality or reflect the campus life or the full student experience. They are a research scoreboard. And by that measure, Chinese universities have surged. But this is not because the US is producing less. Harvard reportedly produces significantly more research today than it did 2 decades ago. The same is true for other major US institutions, including Stanford, Johns Hopkins, UCLA, Michigan, Penn, and the University of Washington. But now, the difference is speed. China has spent more than 2 decades expanding research capacity at scale. It has more researchers, laboratories, and funding. There has also been a strong push to publish in international journals, including English-language journals with wider reach. That brings more citations, and citations lift ranking performance. Meanwhile, American universities are dealing with fresh pressure at home. The Trump administration has been slashing federal research funding. That matters because many top US universities depend heavily on government grants to support scientific work, and research does not respond instantly. Work published today often began years earlier. So, disruptions now can reshape output later. There is also a talent question. International student arrivals have dropped to the US. In August, they were nearly 20% lower than the year before. A combination of tighter visa rules and higher costs has led many students to look elsewhere. Countries like Germany, South Korea, Japan, and France are attracting more international students. China, meanwhile, has introduced new incentives to attract researchers. This includes a visa aimed at graduates of top science and technology universities. Still, this is not the end of the American dominance. Harvard still remains first on other parameters, and US universities continue to rank strongly in broader lists that include reputation and prestige. But the signal is clear. The top tier is no longer a closed club. Research leadership is becoming more global, and the next decade may depend on who can keep funding stable, attract talent, and build for the long run.
The world doesn't fit in boxes, so why should your news? From battlefields to negotiation tables, from internet outrage to real-world injustice. The conversations everyone is having and the ones they're avoiding. It's the same show, but this new year, First Post America gets a new look. I'm Kerry Johnston, and this is First Post America.